Hello and welcome everyone in another episode of Researcher Celebrity. Today we have Mr. Vimlendu Pandey with us as our researcher celebrity. A brief introduction about Mr. Vimlendu. Mr. Vimlendu has done his bachelor's in biology from Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati University, Ajmer, Rajasthan, and has pursued master's in microbiology. From there, he already decided that what he wanted to do. Since then, he has worked in academia, in industry, and also have served Ministry of Defense, DRDO, and in various other capacities. Currently, Mr. Vimlendu is Deputy General Manager in Food and Water Analysis at Avon Food Private Lab Private Limited in New Delhi. With this brief introduction, I would say thank you and welcome Mr. Vimlendu to Researchers Unlimited.
Thank you very much for providing me this wonderful opportunity to to showcase what experience and expertise I have got in my entire career of 24 years, working in the government organization as well as in the private organization and R&D as well as analytical R&D, specific R&D. So I really would like to, in the beginning itself, I would really like to thank you for creating such a wonderful platform for the students, for the researchers to understand the nuances in the field, in this field, and to understand their potentials, wherein they can utilize their potentials in a profound way, in an emphatic way.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for your kind words, and we look forward to this conversation. Our standard question is like how and when you decided that you want to become a researcher.
Yeah, since beginning, it was actually when I was working in I was actually studying in the post graduation in microbiology. So while preparing the various medical entrance examination and all, the microbiology field was very actually in the beginning stage when I have completed my post graduation from MDS University, Rajasthan. So that time, what was happening that very few people were getting the opportunity in the advanced field. That was the most advanced field in India, especially in Rajasthan, while I was studying in graduation. So through entrance examination, I got the opportunity in out of 12 students, I have been selected and I've got the opportunity to do post graduation in microbiology. And that was very exciting. So that time I thought that I just really wanted to develop my career in the field of research and development and would like to do something which is very new and innovative and also applied, should be applied because it directly brings forth the application part to the users. So that was the actually time when I decided that yes, I wanted to move in the research field, and I have started that time in from the Goa University, because in the beginning itself I got the opportunity in the marine microbiology, and I started research and development career in that field. I was working on bioluminescent bacteria, development of biosensor against various heavy metal using the bioluminescent bacteria. So that was the research topic I have started with in the beginning of my career. Yeah.
Okay. So when you already made up your mind during the masters that you want to pursue the applied research, which you did until now. So let's start with the journey. Why in the first place you chose that you want to do something which is very applied and research and like not the other conventional ways that, okay, you just join a company and then stay there, because that is what normally after masters students do.
Yeah, the very important thing behind it is when you are working in academia directly, the basic research. So in the basic research, I don't want to criticize basic research is something which is not useful, because which is giving basic research is something which is giving you the basic platform to
Yes.
develop yourself for the applied field. So that is true. But when I just wanted to focus upon the applied part especially,
Mhm.
and that was the why, because applied part directly gives you the application, and that triggers you. From there onwards you move on. So
Yes.
that journey becomes from there onwards you move on. So I just wanted to upgrade my threshold. And that was the reason why I have chosen that applied field would be somewhere I just wanted to upgrade myself. So development of method validation, verification, new industrial method development, and the new field which is directly being application part was the major area of my research, major area of my focus.
Nice. So I'll ask, like, you have served over this more than a decade or more than 2 decades, actually. You have this experience working with academia, with industry, as well as serving the government of India in different roles, like with the ministries. Which one was the most challenging, and how did you, make sure that all the targets are achieved, you are content? Yeah, I know this is a long one, but yeah, you can uh, answer this in bits and pieces.
Yeah. The I just want I never wanted to be a typical person who wanted to focus on a one field only for one time, because once you work in various areas, in various facets of your life becomes very easier for you. So I have that is why I worked in Ministry of Food Processing Industry, then Defense Research Development and Organization. Especially when I worked in Ministry of Food Processing Industry uh, in New Delhi. So there was an autonomous body, National Meat and Poultry Processing Board, uh, which was coming under the Ministry of Food Processing Industry. So the Ministry of Food Processing Industry actually focuses on the plans and policies, especially. So plans and policies implementation are something which is very, very important for the entire nation. So how government organization works, and what are the status of the meat and poultry processing sector in India, because when we talk about the food actually, so 70% or 60 to 70% of food is our non-vegetarian food. So of the entire population, if you think, so whether that food, the country's aim is to provide the wholesome, safe and healthy food to all, right? And most of the food is the when we people are consuming entire world is actually non-vegetarian food. So whether those meat and poultry processing areas is organized or not, and the most of the people who are consuming this food is actually through the unorganized sector. People are not following the practices of a modern abattoir, how to organize the minimum hygienic condition, to make the people aware, to make them understand that how do they create with the minimum investment they can create a wonderful place wherein we can provide the wholesome and healthy food to all. So various trainings have been organized, and then various mayor conferences have been organized. Through mayors, the people have been made aware about the plans and policies of the government of India, what are the leverages, what are the facilities government of India or gives you to prepare yourself for the hygienic food to all, to save food to all. So that was the most challenging part, one of the most challenging part. I worked in DRDO also. That was also very exciting, because the research focus was mainly focused upon the defense research only. So defense people have a lot of problems they are facing. When they are going to the remote areas, they are not getting they can get any kind of water. So whether what quality of water they are getting, how do they use the rapid kits by dint of which they can make the water healthy or that can consume very easily. So those are the challenging areas. So those are the applied areas which was very, very exciting. Then I have been involved in various kind of trainings to international delegates. You have the opportunity actually to give training to other and to get the trainings provided by the others. So both ways, it is very, very exciting, because in both ways, the exchange of knowledge, exchange of experience and expertise happens. And that becomes a part of your aura, your persona. So your persona becomes dignified, your persona becomes improved, and you will be more and more versatile, and you will be more and more useful for the community, for the entire community wherein you are living in. My major
Absolutely.
focus, I just wanted to update one thing.
Mhm.
When you come across multitude of people around you, you have a multitude of characters, correct? Now, what is happening? There are some good part and there are some bad part everywhere, correct? So when we focus, what my strategy, what my philosophy is, you focus upon good part of one human being and enlarge it, magnify it at a level, at your best strength. Once you magnify the good part, what will happen? The dark part will automatically be hidden to you and it will not come to you. And the person will also be able to understand that that is my good part and he can improve on other parts also. So when you focus upon an individual in the same way that I have to focus on good part and enhance it at the maximum, you can create a storm in the society. So not only the technical knowledge, but also how do you imply your technical knowledge to the society, something which is very, very important for me. And that has been my major area. Actually, I'm working with still I'm working on that part.
No, absolutely, because we will talk about the soft skills because, as you said, these are very crucial for any managerial role that you have to develop a team, they have to perform. So let's start with this diverse, you are a diverse researcher working in diverse India and have worked in all the possible research areas. So the first one will be like, when you are working, as you said, that you are interested in applied research, where you are directly impacting the human health, be it with food, as you mentioned, or be it water for the DRDO, the project which you were doing. So how tough it is, because if you are doing basic research in lab, it is like, okay, you have years or probably in some cases centuries to get the product to the market. So the pressure obviously is there to get the product ready and to release it. But when you are dealing with the direct, like whatever you do today, within a month or week or so, then the impact start coming on human health. Like as you mentioned about unregulated food processing or in the meat industry in India, what kind of pressure these designations brings you with, like now you are responsible for say 100,000 of people who are either following those policies and rules and norms or not. So if you want to share something like that.
Yeah, because what is happening, we can consider the advanced research good. It's wonderful. But when we are talking at mass level, what is the status? So we have to understand whether the mass is able to understand the minimum importance or not. What is our threshold? We always have to look upon the threshold increase. So when we are talking about country like India, it's a vast country. It has got multitude of state, multitude of people. The living standard of the people is of having a very wide range, right? In that context, if you are thinking it properly, then there is a desperate need of bringing those plans and policies in a very sincere way and in a very emphatic way. And that was the effort actually, because government of India has various good things because they are doing, because they are utilizing their government machineries actually. Say for example, the in each and every district there is a mayor, so they are addressing all the mayors. Every year there was a mayor conference being organized by the Ministry of Food Processing Industry. So in the mayor conference, the mayors have been invited and they have been trained, because all these hygienization kind of things have been implemented by them only. So they are the actual people who are being involved in implementing those policies. So how well we can organize this sector? Say for example, if you go to there are various kind of street food vendors in the streets also. They are cutting the chickens and mutton and all those things in a very unhygienic way. There is some the knives and the other tools have not been properly cleaned or washed properly, and they don't have the experience and expertise, but the everything is done in a very raw way. So how to organize them, how to make them aware, because they are illiterate guys. They don't know the minimum hygienic practices itself. So to make them aware that these are the minimum hygienic practices, and the people who are at the middle level, so those also have been trained to develop modern abattoirs. Like what are the minimum tools, and what are the tools you can implement. You can have like minimum size of modern abattoir. What are the minimum tools you are going to equip with your modern abattoir, and what are the personal hygiene things you have to implement while working. Your workers' hand should be swab have been taken regularly for the checking, quality checking, hygienic parameters to be checked. Your areas has to be cleaned before and after processing of any poultry or meat processing. So all those things have been tried to implement them. We have called the people from across the India also to train those fellows. So I have been instrumental in assisting Ministry of Food Processing Industry Joint Secretary Madam and all to implement all those conferences and organize them, the training, especially in the field of meat and poultry. So to and still nowadays, Ministry of Food Safety and Standard Authority of India has implemented a lot of things, like for various guidelines have been made available to them, like street vended foods, because most of the population is consuming street vended food irrespective of veg or non-veg food. Street vended foods are being consumed by most of the people. So whether we are eating the most consumed food in a hygienic way or not.
Yes.
So that is the area of address we have to think upon. And if we make them aware that this is how we can implement those small practices, because nowadays if you go to the street vended foods, they are using the gloves. Earlier there was no practice of gloves.
Yes.
If you go to the pani puri, they are providing you gloves after wearing the gloves only. So that was the area, because what is the hand sanitization technique? Say, for example, hand washing steps, if you follow. So minimum steps are 12 or 13 steps you have to follow for the hand wash. So if you do the proper hand wash, you can provide the food very healthy, because most of the time you are using the hands that has to be cleaned. So the people who are food handlers, the people who are involved in the street vended foods are basically actually not understand these things. Okay, what are the impact it is going to be on the human being who are using all those things. Even the literate people do not know this hygienization sometimes. So that is happening. So that can only be means eradicated. This kind of things can only be eradicated once you implement or make people aware. So there are certain areas wherein you have to make people aware about the basic minimum requirements to have the to get the wholesome food, safe food, healthy food to all. And then there is something which is a specialized thing. So that was the area actually I was involved in, where I was working in Ministry of Food Processing Industry. So that is very important and very exciting and very promising area, wherein you are directly involved in all such things. Then if you are working in applied research, so various kinds of method development, method validation, verification in the field of microbiology, I have been involved in. So I loved that thing also a lot.
So, Vimlendu, when you have done so much of work, okay, and directly training the people so that they can serve healthy and wholesome food, what was the biggest challenge when you were interacting with them? Because making a change in a habit is very tough. And when it comes
Yes.
to someone's shop, as okay, let's just talk about the street hawkers. You are going to tell them that they should practice something which they are not. How challenging was that? Because you mentioned that you guys undertook all those mayor conferences, but at the end of the day, they are the producers or they are the service providers. How challenging was that to make
Yeah,
even a slightest change in them?
yeah, yeah. We have called actually, let me tell you one very exciting thing. I was in Kochi actually, and I am actually a basically Hindi knowing person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the basic individual regional language very well, and nobody knows it properly actually, except the multi-talented person. Very few of them will be. So I was just training, providing them the training basic thing with all the interest I have
Mm-hmm.
actually. So with all the presentation and, but they are unable to understand either English or any Hindi language. So language was the major barrier when you are trying to tell something, but when you are coming up with a clear heart, with honest heart, with sincere effort, I think language barrier crosses. You cross the language barrier. Somebody out of them stood up and was knowing little English. So he
Mm-hmm.
started explaining my thing to them. And that
Mm-hmm.
was very challenging and exciting because he was the thing, he was just noticing how sincerely I am making my effort to
Mm-hmm.
those people. So that was quite exciting, and they have utilized and imbibed it in a very precise way. And that time I was saying, yes, yes, he is explaining it in a right way. So that was the thing. And then there are people who are there are people who are highly means they are illiterate. They don't know the importance why you are calling them just for the sake somebody has invited them, they have attended and they have left. So to make them aware, those people who are illiterate and who are unaware what is the impact if they are not following these things. So that is also sometimes very challenging because some areas you go, people are very sincere. Even if they are illiterate, they are sincere. So and there are areas wherein you go, the people are illiterate and insincere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
that's true.
so those persons, to make them understand is another challenge, another kind of challenge. So that was also very different. Then you have to use different kind of strategies how to make them aware, because then you have to be very polite and very gentle and in a different way. So that was the quite exciting thing. And but I was very happy because of the fact that I have been instrumental in some such a vast task. So that was very exciting and very pleasant thing for me.
Okay, so when you are interacting with these active researchers who are doing the research in the field, and then you are the person who's responsible for taking that research to the market, either in terms of policies or in terms of practices or in terms of making rule and regulations. Because when COVID came, people started acknowledging the fact of sanitization. Okay, that
Yes, yes.
how you should follow the guidelines. So during that time, what was your experience as a researcher?
No, I just to make your answer understand, your question understand the people, and my answer also. I worked in Sri Ram Institute for Industrial Research, New Delhi, and whereas I was involved in various kinds of R&D activities, applied industrial R&D activities. So I was working in one US project that was actually on development of I was involved in validation of hand sanitizer actually. Hand sanitizer was the product which was very instrumental. So there was a vast study of approx 6 to 8 months long, particular project on a particular project. So that hand sanitizer has to be launched in the market. So there are various kinds of validation studies they were involved with. So we have been given the protocol and we were trying to develop various kinds of data which has been discussed with the US company, and we were trying to develop that thing in a that product into the market. So before launching that product into the market, that was quite exciting that we were working with thousands and thousands plates in a day actually.
Mm-hmm.
So the techniques which we were implementing, so the scientists from that particular industry have come and they have also shared their experiences what they are doing. So that was the time in 2007 or 8 probably. So I was working on that project. So that time we were working. It was altogether a new thing, and that has been implemented. So the entire team of ours, approx 24 scientists who are working with me, have been involved with me in this project, and we have been able to launch this thing into a very, very precise way, what was actually expected. So that was something, that time only the hand sanitizer importance was very, very, very instrumental. And they have launched this product into the market. So that was one thing. And this corona has happened just recently. But before that also, being a microbiologist, hardcore microbiologist and R&D, I have been involved in various kind of things. So that is the area. Actually, we have also been involved in sensory analysis of one. Uh, I cannot name the manufacturer. I cannot name the particular product which has been launched. But to be very precise, I must say that that was the first product which is very popular right now in the market. So we have been involved in various sensory analysis. So sensory analysis of a particular biscuit, which has been launched into the market. So before this, we have done the entire studies. A French person who has come with us and who has given us training, and we have interacted a lot. And see, sometimes what happens, they are very transparent. Actually, the people across the India are getting very transparent in every field. So knowledge has never been a bar. So when you think everything in that perspective, that knowledge is not the bar, any small guy will have a very exciting thing in his mind all of a sudden and can share it with you. And that can be instrumental in your project. So you have to
Yes.
open your eyes. You have to open your eyes, ears always, and watch them properly and utilize them at your level best, what you can do. So in various experiences, in various places, that kind of opportunity I have been involved about it.
Open-mindedness is absolutely one thing which is the strength of a researcher. So
Yes.
a little bit of a tangential question. So when you are interacting with national and international researchers, how many times you have lured towards pursuing a PhD, and because of your role and responsibilities, you just did not go that path?
It is always exciting, actually. It is always exciting for me when you are working, but when you are working directly, because sometimes what is happening, if you are investing, with my experience, let me tell you a very important lesson from my side. Because you have raised a very valid point. I just wanted to have this question actually. So, because what is happening, there are people, I don't criticize those who are following that path, but in my opinion, if you are willing to work in industry, and if you are pursuing PhD before this, so a lot of time, 5, 6, 7 years, you are, or 8 years, you are already invested. So for industry, you become fresher. But if you start the industry and then you are following the PhD, working with the industry, that can be very instrumental in industry, because that is the kind of experience. The experience increases with the passage of time. Your industrial experience increases, and your R&D experience also increases if you are following the PhD. So I have also adopted that path actually. So that is very exciting, because you are learning something else in academia industry. If you are processing your career in the field of hardcore R&D, basic research, like professor or scientist only, especially, that is a separate case. Because in that case, the nuances of industry, day-to-day industry's problems, how can it be sorted out, that you are unaware of, that you are not touching. So if you want to avail that opportunity, because industry, they are in industry, there are multitude of challenges every day, every moment you are coming across with. So to come across and to address that wide area of research, applied research, you need to be very instrumental to follow your PhD or R&D career along with your job, industrial job. That helps a lot.
It is very important point, and I would like to say this to all the audience here, that the point Mr. Vimlendu has brought is very important. So if you are clear in your head that industry is the route which you want to do all the research. After your master's, get your foot into it. And then once you have the, the good understanding of how your company works, what are the opportunities they support you with to pursue your PhD, that is the best way to go in. Instead of preparing yourself with all the PhD and then making your footstep into it, because that is one thing which we always, as Dr. Vimlendu just mentioned, that it is very important that they should also have faith in you. You should understand that what you are going to do with your PhD, because getting into the industry is very important for you if that is your opportunity, if that is something which you look forward to. As Mr. Vimlendu also mentioned, that if something you really want to start, like you want to pursue the basic research, become a scientist, or just work in academia, then probably that is the path that you do your master's, PhD, and then take that path. But depending on what you really want for your future is how you decide that which step to take in first. So, Mr. Vimalendu, now going back to the researcher in you, when you see that all the recommendations, all the rules, all the policies, you guys have done all the hard work to put into the place, and still people are not following it. How frustrating is that?
Yeah, it is quite frustrating because if you see the kind of challenges in a country like India, it is very vast. If a country is very small, people are organized, everything is means systematic, everything is the picture picture sake performance, then there is absolutely no problem. But India is full of challenges actually. Now the situation has been changed. It is not like 5-10 years back. People are improving, things have been improved, a lot of things have been improved. It is not like earlier situation, but still if you look at country like India, the kind of challenges are more. At the same time, you have more opportunities,
Yes.
because I consider the more are the challenges, the more are the opportunities. So in country like India, there is a lot of chance for people like me to put their sincere effort of drop in the ocean, because the efforts, your efforts, people like me or more than me, if they are putting small drop efforts of like this, definitely the situation is going to be in a sea change stage, and things will come in a way we want actually. We have now started, see, there is a wonderful change in country like India now. Now the flag hosting is something which connects us very profoundly, because
Yes.
every time we were not doing that thing, all of a sudden this idea has come, and now people are proudly hosting the flags, and everywhere you are seeing the flag is hosting, it is flooding like anything. So that kind of effort, which is a very small effort, but which is being precisely adopted by masses, if the similar kind of effort in hygiene condition is being adopted by masses, situation will get changed. Situation will
Absolutely.
get changed. So that is the kind of thing I just wanted to make people aware that whatever efforts, sincere efforts are being implemented or being planned for a country like India, it has to be implemented by variety of people in a very emphatic way, in a very sincere way. Say, for example, if you are doing a small thing in a very sincere way, and trillions of people are doing in the same way, can you imagine what kind of sincerity we have generated? What a pool of sincerity we have generated for the entire nation for any particular task. So we have to be task oriented. Japan is a very small country. Why they are efforting a lot? Why they are progressing like anything? Why we are following their technology? Why they are not following our technology? So because of the kind of sincerity they have, if 1 second train is late, they are penalizing themselves. So that kind of thing, at least masses, I don't say that 100% of people will be there in country like India, because there
Mhm.
are challenges, but at least the efforts have to be made in that direction, and it has to be continuous, sustainable effort has to be there. If there is a
Absolutely.
sustainable effort, sincere effort, I don't think there is nothing can stop you bringing forth all the good things.
Absolutely. So now, at the end of the conversation, I would like to hear your word of wisdom for researchers, or for the students who are considering to make a move into industry and then follow the path. You already have touched upon many different points of how they can do this, but at the edge of the conversation, I would like to know those word of wisdom from you for the audience.
One thing which is means in conclusion, I would like to say one thing. Say, for example, you can choose if you are choosing industry as an option of your career, then in industry, applied research is there. So you are knowing the processes and methods happening before you. So you have got the knowledge. Now, utilizing that knowledge, you are using Six Sigma tools. You are using variety of tools, statistical tools also, which is being implemented in research. So working with the industrial organization, you are very well aware of all those tools also, if you are interested in, and utilizing those tools, the research can be more analytical, more productive once you are producing before the people, before the entire community. And that time, one thing also you can do, say for example, what I have thought is like one particular medicinal fungus is there, which is very important. So I just wanted to develop a small scale industry before taking care of before retiring of my present option. So if you are developing with a small option, small investment, a particular microbiological expertise being utilized in industry, small scale industry, then with the passage of time, you can develop your own independent skill setting. And with minimum investment, you can go on progressing with this. And with the passage of working with various industry, you will get to know how to develop the industry. So your interest, your entire goal has to be developed while working with the industry. So while experiencing, those experiences have to utilize to get your last goal, because in industry you don't retire because your skills never retire.
Yes.
So in government you can retire, but in industry your skills are always important. So improvising your skills, improvising your soft skills, improvising your other areas of expertise will always help you a lot to give different kind of contribution, versatile contribution to the society, and you can also earn while you learn. So that is
Yes.
something.
That is very motivating, like earn while you learn. So with this, we'll say to all our audience that you can contact Mr. Vimlendu Pandey if you want mentorship from him, or if you want Empowering Science Foundation to put you in touch with our researcher celebrities. We are there to help you. Mr. Vimlendu has willingly offered the mentorship to the people who approach him via Empowering Science Foundation. And the only thing which I always say to our audience, that what we want from you is the passion for research. If that is there, the resources should not be a limitation, and we ensure, because at Empowering Science Foundation, breaking the barrier is our tagline. And any kind of barrier, if you think that something is stopping you to pursue your dream in research, please write to us, and then we will put you in touch with our researcher celebrities, or we'll see what all we can do to overcome you that hurdle, and and to ensure that you get success what you aim for. With this, we'll say thank you, Mr. Vimlendu, for this enlightening and informative conversation, which I'm sure that will change the path for so many upcoming researchers in future.
Thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to come across such a wonderful questions from you. And I am very delighted to answer if anything comes to me. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much. Audience, stay tuned for another researcher celebrity episode. With that, we'll say bye. Thank you.